Impact of COVID-19 on project progress, work plan, budget, and options. From July 2019 through early February 2020, the Kura project was functioning generally according to plan. By mid-February 2020, it started to become evident that the COVID-19 crisis would impact the project. The project team began contingency planning at that point. This contingency planning involved limiting and then stopping all project travel, identifying what meetings or gatherings or other project work could be done remotely, and what work had to be postponed. The project sent regular updates to the Project Steering Committee on this as part of the CTA note. Fortunately for the project, much of the work requiring large gatherings and trainings was nearly completed or could be done remotely. In cases where the project team has not been able to travel, local experts have been able to provide support, and thanks to the UNDP administrator's decision to purchase a corporate Zoom account, much of the work of the project has continued smoothly. But not all of it. Some of the activities have been significantly impacted as the situation continues to evolve. These are current new restrictions on travel and weekend curfews in Azerbaijan may impact environmental flow missions. That is to be determined. Scheduling of national project advisory group meetings, regional working group meetings, and the final regional project advisory group meeting are all planned for September and October. At this point, we may be able to hold some of these virtually, but for others, that may not be feasible. Implementation of the second round of the H2O TEL Awards is being converted to online use for future years, as 2020 will not be a normal year for the hotel industry in either country. Implementation of the second round of trainings on rational water use for teachers, schools, community members, and municipal workers in Gori. Now online trainings are being developed for all of Georgia and Azerbaijani schools. Please note, in some cases, such as the municipal water demonstrations, due to the impact of COVID-19, it is not possible to collect reliable empirical measures of the stress reduction impacts. Pollution abatement plan workshops with stakeholders and donor workshops for the pollution abatement pre-feasibility plans are on hold until September and October. Construction at Hajjugabal constructed wetlands was delayed due to limited travel within the country. It has recently been restarted. All of the work for Kurtsinisi Park river restoration has proceeded using local experts and partners working virtually. Within the next 2 months, a field visit by the international expert to the site will be necessary. Further, we are hoping that materials to be purchased will be readily available without delays. Trainings for journalists and study tours, trainings for parliamentarians, and flood risk management trainings may have to be done online if the conditions persist. Distribution of the Kura box in Azerbaijan to local school has been delayed, though all is available online. The likely cancellation or postponement of the Azersu and International Water Council Academic Conference, which the project would have been involved in, but this remains unknown at this time if it will move forward. Implementation of the concerted social marketing campaigns are on hold until the restrictions are lifted. Alternatively, they may be done with only virtual media. This will be decided in August. Draft comic books for distribution to stakeholders is postponed, but these will be available online. Cancellation of the Stockholm World Water Week due to COVID, limiting opportunities to highlight project successes with IW Learn. The GEF IW Learn International Waters Conference date is currently planned for October 2020, but that is being discussed next week. COVID has delayed the installation of the online groundwater monitoring stations due to the remote locations of these sites and inability to assess the current status of the wells by project engineers. This has also delayed the trainings for the use of these systems and must be completed by August, as 4 months are needed to complete these works. Laboratory exchange is delayed for experts from Georgia NEA to conduct pesticide monitoring with colleagues in Azerbaijan with Hydromet colleagues because of COVID travel restrictions, and these will resume as soon as possible. And of course, the Project Steering Committee meeting moved to an online virtual meeting instead of meeting in Kazbegi, Georgia. The uncertainty of the future COVID impacts continues to be monitored and adjusted to by the project team. Our largest impacted budget line is travel, which covers all travel for all national and international experts and attendance of the project team and project beneficiaries at planned international conferences. One adaptive management response to the COVID-19 crisis, specifically to the travel budget, was to transfer a portion of the travel budget for 2020 to cover the additional cost required to hire an international expert to advise on the river restoration in the Kurtzenisi Park. This was approximately $23,000. Additionally, the project management made another adaptive management decision to allocate $35,000 from the travel budget of 2020 to hire additional national experts to provide support to the international experts who cannot travel due to the current restrictions. The additional input from the national experts focuses on collecting data and information needed for the international experts and review and edit of the translated materials in national languages. Also, the national experts will conduct online training for hydrological modeling under the direct supervision of the international expert who cannot travel to the region. Instead, the international expert will train the 2 national experts to develop modeling courses virtually. Depending on the duration of the COVID-19 crisis, the project will work to realize all of the deliverables of the project document or will consult with the Project Steering Committee as the situation becomes more clear. Under GEF and UNDP Vertical Fund Management, the project reports quarterly about the impacts of COVID-19 on project implementation to UNDP and GEF. The next quarterly reporting period will be at the end of June 2020. We are committed to continuing to adapt so that the work of the project can be completed. At this point, we request Steering Committee guidance.